What's up, everybody? Welcome to DFS by the Numbers. This is my DFS cheat sheet video for the Real Heroes 400. What's up, guys? Welcome back. Finally back. It's been a long break, but really excited to be back at Darlington this week. Really excited to get right back into it. We have a kind of weird slate with no practices and the qualifying. They did a little drawing for the qualifying. That was pretty fun, but I'm just glad to be back, and hopefully you guys are too. If you guys could like this video, also subscribe if you haven't yet. I'd really appreciate that. Trying to get to 2,000 subscribers. I'm getting up there. It'd be awesome to hit that milestone. Also, I am on Patreon. I have this sheet that you're looking at right now on Patreon. It's $5 a month, $125 per race on average, but probably next month you'll get more than 4 races in a month. So a lot of value there. I try to put as much value as possible into the sheet for the lowest price for you guys. Just looking at the model here, we have the driver info, the track history the last 2 years, the track history for the career, track type history last 2 years, current form, and the qualifying and the practices as well. I also have my projections, which is my favorite part of the sheet, my targets page, and I ranked them in order of how much I like them. Optimizer, and also example cash lineup in there as well. And then my rankings page, put a bunch of different rankings out there, lineup percentages, and like I said, an example cash lineup, and then also access to my Slack chat, where we talk race stuff, talk on race day and all that. Ask me any questions you want. But yeah, I'm really excited to get started here. So this race is a little weird. Like I said, we do not have practice time, so that kind of sucks, but I'm just glad we're racing. But I'm going to do kind of a driver by driver breakdown video and just go over the plays I like and also talk about some of the other drivers that I might be potentially playing. And yeah, let's start with Kyle Busch. So he is starting 4th. I like this play quite a bit. He is 11,800 and always the highest priced on the slate. In his 2 races the last 2 years, he's finished 3rd and 7th. He's led 118 laps, which is the best on the slate. So I think he can eventually get up there. As we know, Keselowski's got pole, but I think Kyle can eventually get up there and lead some laps and dominate. He hasn't had the best year. This year he's only averaging 29.71 DraftKings points. So hopefully he gets it together and has a good race here. I'm going to have a decent amount of them. Between the top range, I probably like Keselowski and Kyle Busch the most. Those are going to be my highest owned, but I think there are some other options as well to go to. Such as Kevin Harvick. I think he's a fine GPP play here. I forgot to go over my key. So my key, in case you guys were wondering, core, green, GPP, yellow, red, fade, orange, punt, like always. In case you guys are new or need a reminder, it's been a while. But yeah, Kevin Harvick, GPP play. He's starting 6th, so you got Kyle Busch in front of him, and you got Keselowski in front of him. So I think he'll be lower owned of the 3, but he is very good here. He finished 4th in his past 2 races. Didn't lead any laps. Just looking at his track history for the career, he has 23 races, average finish of 14. He has 12 top 10s and 18 top 20s with 581 laps led, which is the second best out of the whole slate. So I do think Harvick was originally supposed to start on the pole, but now he's starting 6th. I do think he's in play as well. As more of a GPP play, but I'm going to have a decent amount. I think him and Kyle can lead laps. I think him and Keselowski could lead laps. I think those 3 are definitely potential dominators for me. So I like Harvick quite a bit, but more as a GPP play. Denny Hamlin, probably not going to have too much of him. He's starting 10th. He's really, really high priced, way too high priced for me, 11,100. Just looking at his past 2 races, he's finished 10th and 29th here. 11 laps led. Starting 10th, he's going to have to get past Kevin Harvick, Busch, Keselowski. I think it's going to be pretty hard. I'm not really a fan of Denny Hamlin this week, but maybe a couple, but just not really interested. Martin Truax, he is 10,800. He's starting 15th, so he does have some place differential, but is he going to dominate? He could. Let's look at his track career history here. Truax, 14 races. He has an average finish of 11.6, which is pretty good. He has a win, and he's led 232 laps, so he's not bad here. Not bad at all. So I do think there is merit to playing Truax. He could get that place differential, and if he leads laps, it's even better. So probably going to have some Truax. If I had to rank the top range in order from Busch to Keselowski, I'd probably go Keselowski number 1, Kyle Busch number 2, Harvick number 3, Truax number 4, and Hamlin number 5. Probably not going to play Hamlin. Also, Keselowski here. Yeah, he's starting on the pole. I'm kind of glad he's starting on the pole. I wanted either him, Kyle Busch, or Harvick, so at least one of them did that I wanted, and he's starting first. He has an average finish of 3 here in the last 2 years. He's finished first and fifth, so he's won here. He has led 43 laps, but I do think he can dominate the beginning of the race. There is a competition caution, I think, like lap 25 or 35, so he could lose the lead there, but I do like him quite a bit. Going to have a lot of Keselowski. I just think he's very, very good here, and yeah, he should dominate for the first part of the race. Don't know if he's going to win, but yeah, I like Keselowski. Joey Logano, not too interested in starting ninth. He has to get past, Keselowski, Busch, Harvick. I mean, he could, but I'm just not too interested. He's not bad here. He has an average finish of 8 in his last 2 races here. Just looking at his career history, Joey Logano has 11 races, average finish of 16. He has 3 top 5s, 5 top 10s, 103 laps led, so not the best. I'm probably not gonna play much, honestly, so I'm probably gonna have all my ownership on Keselowski, Kyle Busch, and Harvick, maybe some Truax, but not too interested in Logano. Chase Elliott starting 11th. He's average finish of 12th. He's finished 5th and 19th. I do think he could possibly get a top 10. It's just at that price. It's a little high price for me if he's not going to dominate any laps. But I think you could play him in GPP. Maybe he gets a top 5. Maybe it's enough to get in the winning lineup. Some place differential there. So I'm going to have some Elliott, just not a core play for me or anything. Ryan Blaney starting 7th, same thing. Really, I can see him maybe finishing in the top 5. He has an average finish of 14 in the past 2 races here. Finished 13th and 15th. I can see him getting that top 5 possibly, but don't really see him dominating any laps. So at that price, I don't know if he's going to pay off the winning lineup, but maybe a sprinkle Blaney. Eric Jones, probably my favorite play on the slate overall. He is very, very good here. In 3 races, looking at his career history, in 3 races, he has an average finish of 4.7. Past 2 races, average finish of 4.5. He won, and he finished 8th. So I like Eric Jones quite a bit. Led 79 laps in the past 2 races as well. His price is a little pricier than usual, but I'm going to play that 100%. I love Eric Jones. I'm not going to go all in on him or anything, but I do think there is really a lot of good reasons to be playing him here. Hopefully he gets that top 10. That's really what I'm expecting for him. He's really good here. So I like Eric Jones, 9,200. Definitely a core play of mine. Cash, GPP, all that. Bowman starting 2nd, going to fade. I don't see him leading laps. It's possible. Just don't see him, passing up Keselowski or any of that. So not really a fan of Bowman. And plus, he's not really good here. He's finished 18th and 23rd in his last 2 races. Average finish of 23 in his career. So don't like Bowman at all. But William Byron starting 18th. Maybe I'll have some of him. He just hasn't been good here. He finished 21st and 35th. Has an average finish of 28 in 2 races. So, probably not going to play much of him. But I think he's like kind of a little GPP play here because maybe he pops off at really, really, really low ownership. And he's just so expensive too. Like that's another reason I really don't want to play him here. But not going to fade him. I might have a little bit. Just don't really like the play at all. Kurt Busch, another core play of mine, 8,500 starting 22nd. He's pretty good here. In his past 2 races, he's finished 6th and 7th. He has a career average finish of 16.5. He has 3 top 5s in his career, 9 top 10s, and 15 top 20s with 360 laps led. So he's pretty good here. Starting 22nd, I think he can get some place differential for sure. I would not be surprised at all if we've seen him in the top 10 as well. So give me Kurt Busch, and I like that price, 8,500 for Kurt Busch. Come on. Definitely a core play of mine, cash, DPP, you name it. Jimmy Johnson, 8,300. A little GPP play here. He's 8,300. If he gets a top 5 out of nowhere, he could possibly be on the winning lineup there at that price. It's just he hasn't been too good here the past couple of races. Average finish of 27.5 in his past 2 races. Finished 16th and 39th. Not the prettiest play. Probably not going to play much of him, but I do think he is the GPP play because of his price, and he does have that upside of possibly getting a top 5. But don't bank on it. Clint Boyer, 8,100, starting 13th. Just not good here as well. He did have a 6th place finish. He did finish 36 as well, just looking at his career here. 14 races, average finish of 21.6. So just not interested, just starting 13th. Maybe a couple, because maybe he gets a top 10. I just don't see it. Matt Kenseth, kind of a GPP play here, starting at 12th. First race back in a while. Maybe he has something to prove. Can't really look at any of the stats here. He's going to be in Kyle Larson's car, though, and Kyle Larson, as we know, had a really good car. So I can see him maybe getting a top 10 first week back, something to prove. Definitely a GBP play, and I like that price at 7,900. So yeah, I'll play some Kenzeth for sure. Eric Almirola, 5th. No way I'm playing him here. Average finish of 15.5 his last 2 races. Just no reason to play him. Same thing with MBD. I'm a huge MBD fan. Just no reason to play him starting 3rd. He's just only going to go back. Austin Dillon starting 13th. This is kind of a starting 16th. This is kind of a GPP play here. Average finish of 13 in his last 2 races. Finished 10th and 16th. Just looking at Austin Dillon's career history, average finish of 12.5 in 6 races, which is pretty good. So, yeah, 7,400, finished inside the top 15. I'll take that all day. So I do like Austin Dillon as a GPP play. Would be kind of a core play if he was starting back just a little bit further, and if we could trust him a little bit more. Austin Dillon tends to screw us over a lot, so it's more of a GPP play, but he's a good play nonetheless. Tyler Reddick, another core play of mine. He's starting 29th. He's been pretty good this year. It just, he wrecked that one race. That one race he was like in the top 3, and then he ended up wrecking. That was crazy. But yeah, he's been doing really good. He's looking good. 7,200, which his price was a little bit lower, but what can you do? He's been pretty good. Yeah, 29th. I'm going to play a lot of Tyler Reddick. I think that's a lot of place differential. I wish we had practice to see how fast he is, and so we could kind of predict where he's going to finish in a way. But Tyler Reddick starting 29th, you got to play him. Chris Buescher starting 24th, another core play for me. Hopefully he's going to be a little bit lower owned. I know all the ownership's probably going to go to Reddick, but I do like Buescher quite a bit. Average finish of 12.5 in his last 2 races, finished 12th and 13th. And looking at his career history here, he has 4 races and an average finish of 14.8. So yeah, if he gets at 14th, 15th place finish, that's 100% fine. Starting 24th, 10th place, 10 place differential points. Yeah, that's for 7,000. Sign me up. All right. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., 6,800. Probably not going to touch this too much. Starting 23rd, probably more of a GBP play, but probably not for me. Average finish of 22.5 in his last 2 races. Finished 12th and finished 33rd. Just looking at his career history here, average finish of 24 in 7 races. So nothing pretty here, but might have a little bit of him starting 24th, maybe as a ownership play. He's not going to be owned as much as Buescher and Reddick, so maybe a little bit. Christopher Bell starting 28th. Starting 28th, plays differential points. It's about all I got to say. I think he can probably get like maybe a top 20, something like that. Other than that, I'd say more of a GPP play. Not going to go all in on him or anything. I do like some guys around him a little bit more, but he is a fine play starting 28th. Ryan Newman, he's back after that awful crash, and he's starting 21st. I always think Ryan Newman's the GPP plays. He's sometimes boom or bust. Sometimes he'll look really good. Sometimes he'll hang out in the mid-20s. So starting 21st, maybe he wants to come back, make a statement. Maybe we see him in the top 15. But more of a GPP play. I'm not expecting too much of Newman, but I will have some. Cole Custer starting 14th, not too interested, honestly. 6,300. I can't picture him in the top 10, so I just don't really see a reason for playing him. Daniel Suarez starting 37th. I mean, there is some place differential upside. I can see him finishing maybe like 28, 29, so maybe a cash play. I think it's safe starting 37th, but I do like the guys below him as well, a little bit more than him. Ryan Preece starting 25th, just not too interested. Maybe a couple, but one race here, finished 22nd. Probably just a little bit. Maybe an ownership play is going to be really low owned probably. But other than that, not too interested in Ryan Preece. Bubba Wallace, going to be fading him, starting 17th, no reason to play him. Same with Corey LaJoie, fading him, starting 19th. And then John Nemechek, 5,900, starting 35th. Lots of place differential there. I can see him getting a top 25, which would be great at his price. So definitely going to be on some Nemechek. Same thing with Dillon. Ty Dillon, he's starting 34th. He has an average finish of 20.5 here in his last 2 races, finished 20 and 21st. If you do that here, starting at 34th, that's amazing. That's 14 place differential points. Just looking at his career here, Ty Dillon has an 18 average finish of 18, which is really good. So Ty Dillon, probably my favorite play down here. Other than that, fade all of these guys down here. Maybe have some McDowell. McDowell starting 32nd, not the best play at all, but maybe you can get maybe a top 25. Just not expecting much at all. But Ty Dillon for sure down there for my preferred punt play if I had to pick one. All right, so just to go over it quickly, core plays, Kyle Busch. Love him. I think he can win this race. Hasn't done good this year. Maybe his ownership will be down. Because Lousy has the pole. I think he can lead that beginning of the race. Maybe win the race as well. Another core play, Eric Jones. Love Eric Jones. Not a reason not to. Same with Kurt Busch. Love Kurt Busch this week. Reddick, Busher, great plays. Punt, Ty Dillon, Nemechek. And then Reddick, Busher. And then some GPP plays in there as well. All right, guys, that's about it. Hopefully we get some practices soon so we can see those practice times. That's something I really like doing. Make sure you guys sign up on Patreon, $5 a month. I try to put as much value in there as I can. The projections are awesome. It's my favorite page on the sheet. Targets, optimizer, example cash, lineup rankings, lineup percentages, Slack chat. A lot of you guys signed up for MMA, so thank you for that. Let's see if we can grow NASCAR as well. And also make sure you like this video if you enjoyed it. Also subscribe if you haven't yet. On the road to 2,000 subscribers. I didn't honestly think I would get this far, but I really shot up. So thank you guys for that. It's all thanks to you. So that's about it, and good luck. Finally, it's back. Let's win some money.